When were y'all gonna tell me that Gen Alpha has some problems?
This isn't OT! This isn't OT!
These iPad kids getting out of control.
I've been watching for over 12 hours today. Give me your iPad.
I like your hair. Oh.
What is up, you guys? It is your girl Nisha Nichelle, and we are back with another video. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Gen Alpha, aka the iPad kids, aka the raging Sephora kids, aka the kids who apparently can't read on their grade level. This is crazy. I'm not gonna drag them too much because they are children, but we do have some things that we need to address here today. So your girl is gonna get into it, baby. Your girl is gonna get into it. So before we get into the video, you guys know that I have a verse of the day. Today's verse comes from Romans 12 and 18, and it states, if possible, so far as it depends on you, live peaceably with all. Be in peace, period. That's all I gotta say. Live peaceably with all. You heard it. You heard it here first, babe. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into what is going on with Gen Alpha. I did do a little research on this video today. Some of this is going to be off the dome. I will also be inserting some TikToks. A lot of this conversation started from TikTok, as a lot of conversations these days do start. They start on TikTok.
Young Gen Z teachers are talking about the poor behavior of Gen Alpha students, and some of y'all are finally starting to believe us when it comes to how much we've missed the mark on raising these kids right.
This is my folder of crying teachers, and they are confused and frightened by the behavior of Gen Alpha. They're saying Gen Alpha is defiant, aggressive, disrespectful, and rude.
Having to teach and work with you guys as children has been the most traumatic experience of my life. They don't respect any authority.
Like, I'm not even trying to be funny, but these kids are... I'ma just say this. I teach 7th grade. They are still performing on the 4th grade level.
I'm a middle school teacher. I'm also 22 years old. And I will tell you, by far, we are doomed. Like, these kids do not care. Like, I have kids, all they want to do all day long is get high.
I need to ask millennials, why are your kids so awful?
Apparently, Gen Alpha is off the rocker. They have gone mad. They have gone crazy. They're not all the way there, but we're not gonna drag them too bad. Gen Alpha is the generation after Gen Z. They are no older than about 13. I believe Gen Alpha starts in 2009 or 2010. Most of these kids are being raised by millennials, or in some cases, they're also being raised by Gen Z, which is but I don't got no kids. So Gen Alpha has a couple of names. The first name being iPad kid. From the day that they were born, they have grown up with technology, which is pretty different from Gen Z. Gen Z didn't necessarily grow up with technology. We were one of the last generations to actually go outside, to actually have in-person communications. We knew what it was to come home when the street lights came on, things of that nature. Gen Alpha doesn't know what this is. So they grew up with iPads. I mean, out the womb, pulling them out the you know who, they was getting an iPad in their hand, and that is a problem.
What are you doing?
Color like this one's, that one was pink, that one's green.
You're coloring on your iPad?
Yeah. Might be a controversial topic, but I'm going to tell you guys why we got our 1-year-old an iPad for Christmas.
Yeah, hold on. I need to tell it to you.
Tell what to me?
Something that's very important.
This affects their attention span. A lot of Gen Alpha cannot focus on one thing for too long because they're so used to short form content. They're so used to things being quick, fast. Even if the internet is loading too long, they're like, oh my gosh, these kids are raging and they do not know what to do. And that is a problem because technology are raising these kids, and it's showing up in their behaviors. It's showing up in Sephora. It's showing up in school, in their grades. It's showing up and manifesting in a lot of different ways, and it's very interesting. They also lack social skills. A lot of them tend to put most of their attention on technology. So gaming, kids love to game these days, and apparently that's how a lot of them make their friends. So they have no in-person social skills. They have no situational awareness awareness, which is really a big issue, because it's like you need to be aware of your surroundings. You need to have problem solving skills, and unfortunately Gen Alpha is just not all there when it comes to that, due to them being iPad kids and being raised on technology from the womb. I could tell y'all kids who know how to work my phone better than I know how to work my phone, and I'm 23, babe. What is going on? They're not able to create and sustain these relationships in real life, and that's going to hit them later on down the road, which is a bit problematic and it's concerning. These kids are going to be our future. They're going to be the ones taking care of us when we're in the nursing home and we get older. Like, they're going to be our nurses, our doctors, our lawyers. Honestly, a lot of them don't even see that as a career path now. They all want to be content creators. I saw a TikTok that stated that they did a career fair and 80% of the kids said they wanted to be a social media star, a content creator, an influencer, things of that sort, which is nothing wrong with that. But also, we still need people who aspire to be nurses, doctors, lawyers. That's what keeps us safe. Like, baby, if I can't go to the doctor, where can I go?
It's upsetting me in my home, girl, because we feel like, well, if you can't go to Bella Noches, where the hell could you go?
So it is concerning that these kids are so fully invested in technology that they don't see any other path of life. They don't see how they can create these social relationships and sustain them. Generation Alpha has no third spot. Basically what a third spot is, you know, you have your home where you go to sleep, then you have school or work, which would be considered your second spot. And then in our generation, Gen Z, we often had a third spot, whether it be the library, the coffee shop, movies with your friends, just going over to a friend's house. These kids don't do that no more. They get on the game and they talk to their friends on the game with these headphone sets and all of that stuff. And so they have no third spot. They have no ability to create and maintain relationships, and they don't have any social skills. And it's just like, I don't know what is going on, but I'm scared. When were y'all gonna tell me that Gen Alpha has some problems? And I honestly can't believe that these kids don't go outside anymore. I created some of the best memories that I have outside with my friends. I feel like I grew a stronger bond to even my sister, because my sister used to love to go outside, and I wasn't necessarily an outside girly. I wasn't in the house on technology. I was in the house playing with horses and Barbie dolls and things of that sort. But I grew some of the closest relationships, some of the closest bonds just from being outside. And like I said, in our generation, it's a thing. You know, you had to be home before them street lights came on. Gen Alpha is gonna know nothing about that, and I'm just like, what is going on? What is happening with the kids, babe? I feel like as Gen Z, we have a responsibility. These are our younger brothers, our younger sisters, our nieces, our nephews. Like, y'all, we need to get them in line, like quick, fast, and in a hurry. The next thing I want to touch on is their other name, Sephora kids. Apparently the kids are rating Sephora for drunk elephant and retinol and foundation at 7 years old, 10 years old. What's going on?
I just saw a girl on my For You page talking about how Sephora has become the new Claire's. There's a bunch of 10-year-olds running around fiending for drunk elephant and like looking for rare beauty as if Selena Gomez is in the building. These 10-year-olds are crazy. Like, literally the most feral. I was a camp counselor. The Sephora kids are different than any type of kids.
10-year-olds are ruining makeup stores. Lately, Sephora employees have been complaining on TikTok that every time they work a shift, the majority of customers are children under the age of 13 that have no manners. They go up to the sample section and quite literally destroy everything and make a huge mess that they don't even bother cleaning up. In fact, some workers are saying that the kids will open up packaged products from a set just to take one or two items, thus resulting in the store losing hundreds if not thousands of dollars worth of product.
Always when the groups of kids come into the store, that we then find all of the empty Summer Fridays boxes.
As a result, some Sephora locations are allegedly removing testers entirely because it's not worth them if the kids are just gonna ruin it and not purchase anything. And it's not like they can ban 10-year-olds from coming into their store. Not to mention, people in the comments section were saying things like when they were 10 years old, they were playing with Barbies and watching Rugrats. Meanwhile, nowadays they're putting on a full face of makeup and are wanting to grow up faster and faster.
I remember playing in makeup, in my mom's makeup at those ages. It's no way on God's green earth that she was finna take me to Sephora, Ulta, Walmart, Target, whatever you want to call it, to get my own makeup. And I'm not saying that's a problem, especially with little girls. It's nothing new for a little girl to want to look older, to want to be like her mother or anything like that. But the way these kids are raging in Sephora and their behavior is absolutely asinine.
Right, this whole Sephora situation is going on right now. Well, I've got my own 2 pence to add. So I was in Sephora just before New Year's and I was buying some bits for myself and also looking for some other people. And this group of girls walk in. They can't be older than 10. I reckon they're probably about 9, maximum 10 years old. And they walk up to this poor woman that's working there, just trying to do her job, and they say, where are the Bronte jobs? Like, no please, no thank you, just where are they? And the woman takes them over, despite being with another customer already. She takes them over and she opens the drawers, shows them that they're out of stock. And they just say to her, check the back. It's like, what do you mean, check the back? Okay, fine. She goes and does it. I wouldn't have done it personally, but she goes and does it and says, no, we're really sorry, we're all out of stock. And they just keep badgering her, non-stop saying, but where are they? When are they going to be back? Like, surely you've got one more. It's like, if the woman says they're out of stock, they're out of stock, leave her alone. And I just want to know, where are these kids' parents that are allowing them to have such attitudes and behave this way towards other people? Because these kids are rude, disrespectful, and are literally damaging their skin with the products that they're buying. So do parents just not care?
Guys, come on. Is anybody teaching their children manners anymore? This is not a tester, so we can't sell this now. Sephora employees are not your babysitters. Obviously went to go check out Drunk Elephant like I do every single day. This was disgusting, and this stuff hardens, and when it does, it's impossible to get off. Of course, all the pieces to the testers are everywhere. It's a mess, and now they're hitting other brands too because we're putting away our Drunk Elephant testers. And this is why people are saying there needs to be an age requirement to shop here.
I've seen countless videos on TikTok of Sephora workers saying how outrageous Gen Alpha's behavior has become in Sephora, just raging over makeup, over products that they honestly shouldn't even be using at the ages that they're at. It does more damage than it helps at that age. They're using retinol, they're using anti-aging products, Drunk Elephant. Why are 10-year-olds using Drunk Elephant? I am very much confused. I don't get it. I don't get it, but maybe one day I will. Their behavior in these stores really leads me back to having no situational awareness. They don't know how to talk to people. Their social skills are really lacking. They are very rude from the TikToks I've seen. I don't interact with a lot of Gen Alpha on a day-to-day, but from the TikToks I've seen, from Sephora kids, even the teachers in school, these kids are really out of line. The situational awareness is just not there. They don't know how to come up to a worker and say, hey, do you have this product? Instead, they're yelling at workers. They're yelling at their parents. I saw a TikTok, y'all, and it was like this girl had like a $900 cart in Sephora at 10 years old. Why do you have $900 worth of stuff in your cart or in your bag when you go to check out at Sephora? Why? Let me know some, y'all. Let me know some down in the comments, because I'm really not sure what exactly you had in your cart that was going to equal $900. When she got to the counter with her mom was saying like, absolutely not, this is too much. And she's like, well, I'm not putting anything back. Her mom's like, yeah, you are. You need to figure out, you know, what we're doing here. And I guess she put some things back. Cart was still $500, y'all. At 10 years old, what are we getting out Sephora for $500? Like, stuff like that is so crazy. They don't know the value of money. Not saying that me as a 10-year-old, I completely knew the value of money at that age, because I didn't, but I just feel like other generations are a little more grounded than them. It's nothing new for older generations to look down on younger generations and say, hey, they don't know what they're talking about, they're too young, these kids are outrageous. That is not a new sentiment coming from older generations, whether it be Gen Z, the baby boomers, the Gen Xers, the millennials, whatever it is. It's not a new thing. However, I feel like Gen Alpha has taken it up a notch, and like I said, it's just very concerning because these kids are our future. Can you imagine these iPad kids voting for the next president? That's concerning. And not only is their behavior outrageous in Sephora, they are making teachers drop like flies. Countless teachers have come onto social media on different platforms across the internet and have said how tough it is to deal with these children.
I'm going through all type of shit. I'm tired of being goddamn disrespected every goddamn day. All I want to you, I very nicely told you what to do. I don't have to touch your goddamn phone. They wouldn't even come to that. It wouldn't even come to it. You gotta do what you're supposed to do. Don't say anything else to me.
The reason teachers are leaving is not because of teacher pay. Let me just tell you what I've been dealing with in the last 48 hours. There's a list. Yesterday, I broke up an assault in my band hall. Not a fight, an assault. A kid punching another kid in the head at least 4 or 5 times. Some mystery kid decided to get creative over the last 12 hours when I wasn't paying attention and literally took every single string off of every single French horn that we own, making them unplayable. I set up a drum set station for my percussionist. I was so excited because they have been begging me all year to play drum set. Took 24 hours for somebody to break the hi-hat.
And people are laughing.
Okay,
Just
come out.
lady. That's all.
Oh, ain't no way y'all can start this.
Yeah, do whatever you want to do. I don't care. I'm gonna do it anyway.
Hey, whoa.
I'm walking right out the door. I won't ever be back.
Not only is it tough, they have one of the lowest IQs out of all generations because of their technology addiction. They don't care about school. Like I said before, they lack attention span. They also lack the want to learn. In other generations, we actually wanted to go to school. Well, I won't say we want to go to school because I didn't want to go to school. But since I had to go to school, of course, I wanted to do my best. I wanted to make good grades. I wanted to see things through. I didn't want to be behind. I remember we moved from one city to another and I was behind in math, and my mom instantly, she put me in math tutoring because we were like, we got to get this math on track, like, or else I'm gonna be behind for the rest of my life. These kids, and honestly these parents, they just don't care like they used to, and it's just mind-boggling. I will say that COVID did play a part in all of this. Obviously these kids from a very young age were not exposed to real life interactions. They started school online, or a lot of their primary years started online in elementary school or maybe early middle school. So when they get into these real classrooms after having about 2 years off, it's like shell shock for them. They don't want to be there. They want to be at home gaming. They want to be on the iPad. They want to be talking to their friends on the phone. They don't care to be there, and they're gonna let you know that. I'm not sure if we're just more exposed to it because of the internet, but from what I've seen on TikTok, these teachers are having a very hard time dealing with this generation. They talk about how the kids are behind. Instead of keeping them in that grade, they just move them on up. They move them on up.
So I'm not really understanding why they not telling y'all. Like, we all know that the world is behind, like, you know, globally, like, you know, because of the pandemic and stuff. But I don't understand why they not stressing to y'all how bad it is. Like, I'ma just say this. I teach 7th grade. They are still performing on the 4th grade level. I don't care how you flip it, turn it, swing it, swindle it. They still performing on the 4th grade level. Ain't nobody talking about how they just keep moving, passing them on. They just keep passing them on, 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 passing them on. I can put as many zeros in this grade book as I want to. They're gonna move that child to the 8th grade next year. Ain't nobody talking about that.
They're talking about how these kids are disrespectful. Honestly, it's not coming from just the teachers. There was a dance school teacher who was talking about her 5-year-old listening to Sexy Red.
And another thing that's heart-wrenching is horrifying. Your 5-year-old daughters are asking to listen to Pound Town and Ski Yee. Your 5-year-old daughters are asking, can we hear Pound Town?
And just being completely out of line. She would tell them to stand in their spot, and they're like, well, I don't want to stand in my spot. She would tell the parents wouldn't really do anything about it.
I teach 5-year-olds ballet. They don't respect any authority. You ask them, can you stand in your designated spot? They're telling you no and shut up. You say, can everybody sit in their spot? I don't want to. I'm not doing that. You don't get to tell me what to do. You're not my mom. You confront the parent. The parent tries to argue with you, fuss at you, because you tried to reprimand and redirect their kid.
And I've seen the same thing from teachers, after school teachers, the Sephora workers. It has to be some common ground and some truth between all of the perspectives that are coming from this generation. Everybody can't be lying. I feel like it's our duty and our responsibility to help the babies out because they are really struggling. They should be focused on school. They should be focused on having a childhood. This is the only time in their lives where they truly get to be a child. And I feel like Sephora, Drunk Elephant, gaming, all that is not necessarily it, y'all. Like, these kids have got to learn how to just be kids. And I feel like you never really understand that until you are older, or like Gen Z and millennials, and you're like, wow, you know, when I was a kid, maybe I should have just been a kid. And that's what I really want for Gen Alpha, and it just doesn't seem like they care about kid things anymore. It's just really sad to see. I feel like teachers dealing with this generation are kind of stuck in between a rock and a hard place because they have the disrespectful kids, but they also have APs and the principals who aren't really doing much about it. And everybody has different perspectives on the topic. I'm sure if I talk to an AP or a principal, they would have their reasoning. The kids, I guess, have their reasoning, but the teachers is what I've been been seeing the most of on TikTok, they just look tired. They look tired of dealing with y'all children. While we're on the topic of Gen Alpha, we need to talk about the millennials that are raising them. In recent years, gentle parenting has become a thing. I'm gonna read for you the definition of gentle parenting. What is gentle parenting? Gentle parenting, also sometimes referred to as respectful, conscious, or positive parenting, is a parenting philosophy that's gained popularity in the last few years. It's a holistic approach to parenting that emphasizes empathy, respect, and understanding in order to foster a healthy parent-child relationship. Unlike other parenting philosophies that follow a more authoritarian style, gentle parenting is closely aligned with authoritative style and aims to raise and teach children through positive guidance and modeling. I love it. I love gentle parenting when done correctly. Okay. Otherwise, we have these spawns that don't know how to act in public. And that's just what it is, babe.
I need to ask millennials, why are your kids so awful? And more importantly, why do you think it's so funny? Your kids cannot read. They cannot write. They are ill-mannered and they're monsters. I was working my medical receptionist job the other day and this woman walks in. You can tell she's a millennial. She's like 34. She has a yoga mat in one hand and her 4-year-old in the other. Her spawn walked up to the counter and I was like, hi. There's a bunch of business cards just stacked up on the counter, you know, it's a medical office, and the kid knocks them all over and starts mixing up all the different business cards on the floor of the office. I look over at her mother thinking she's gonna see this and be like, oh no, you can't do that. No, she looks up from her phone, looks at her daughter and starts hysterically laughing and says, isn't she so cute?
I feel like when Gen Z was growing up, a lot of parents were using the authoritarian parenting style, which a lot of you may know if you're watching this video. Stay in a child's place, get up out of grown folks' business, all of that stuff. There's been a switch in recent years to gentle parenting, which, like I said, I really like. I think it's very healthy when done correctly. Gentle parenting does not mean your kids rule your world and they are not disciplined, especially in public places. And I know a lot of parents get a little irritated when people without kids try to speak on parenting. In some situations, we can't speak on parenting, but when your child is acting certain ways out in public, and this is like a common theory between the full public, I feel like we need to talk about it. In my opinion, gentle parenting doesn't look like your kid ruling your world, your kid ruling your life, being disrespectful, or things of that nature. Gentle parenting looks like respect. Your kids should respect you. They should feel loved. They should feel cherished and cared for. Spanking isn't always the answer. Maybe you should have a good talk with your kid. I do agree with all of those principles, but it has to be done correctly. Otherwise, we get what we have now. We see the product. We see the material, babe. Millennials pretty much kind of gotta step it up a little bit. And some Gen Zers, like I said, they have to be more of an authoritative figure in their child's life. Otherwise, this whole thing is gonna keep going down the drain. I saw another TikTok where a teacher was calling home about her kid, and mom was like, I'm at work. And did he do anything wrong? Y'all should learn how to take care of these kids at school. And it's like, babe, school is not a daycare. These teachers did not come to babysit your child. Your child should know how to act and how to sit in a chair and learn whatever the teacher is teaching in a respectful manner. I feel like some parents these days look at school as a daycare. They really don't feel like they should have much to do with whatever goes on at school. That's another reason why test scores are dropping, the IQ is low. Parents are very hands-off. The kids come home, they get on the iPad, they take a bath, they eat, they go to sleep. Are parents sitting down and doing homework with their children? Are parents going to parent-teacher conferences? And if you are you actually caring about what the teacher is saying about your child? Because truth be told, the teacher is with your child more than you are. So honestly, the teacher probably knows your child a little bit better than you do, especially at these schooling ages. Because baby, the real comes out in school. Your child could be all angel, angel, angel at home, but in school, they're not angel, angel, angel. They're giving spawn, spawn, spawn. Like, let's just keep it a bean machine, okay? I just feel like parents have to be a little bit more hands-on. They have to care a little bit more. Gentle parenting is great. I love it, but we need to step it up. Maybe like a good medium between the authoritarian style and the gentle parenting style would be really good. Give us what we need. Give us the results that we are seeking to see. The generation as a whole is just a bit worrisome. It does worry me a little bit. It's a lot of discourse online about this topic recently. Of course, I would love to hear what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you feel like Gen Alpha is doomed? Do you feel like these kids need a little help? Do you feel like the parents need a little help? Do you think it's millennials' fault? Do you think it's not millennials' fault? How do you feel about the Sephora PS4 keys? How do you feel about the iPad keys? Let me know something down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the subscribe button below. Join the crew and make it do what it do. Okay, join the crew and make it do what it do. Okay, period. Pooh. Make sure that you guys hit the notification bell so that you know every time I post a new video. Of course, I want you guys to always stay blessed and not stressed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Adios, muchachas. Bye.